All I want is a decent economy, and I want the government to stop trying to force vaccines onto my kid. That's all I want. I want affordable energy. I want less regulation on the economy so that way I can work and build a business and actually build some wealth and also take care of my family as opposed to having to, you know, show somebody a freaking vax card whenever there's, a global pandemic. That's all I want. If the government would just get out of the way and allow us to allow the free market to at least do 80% of what it's capable of doing, and allow us to create our own products and to create our own energy. That's all I want. I would even be willing to look the other way on some of the corruption if they would just be normal, close the border, let us have a free economy, and allow us to make our own energy. That's all I want. Is that too much to ask?
Well, yes, Tyler, because we have other very important things that we need to be focused on. We need to be sending people over to just do things like this, you know?
Dos gardenias para ti, que tendrán todo el calor de un beso.
It's like a scene out of The Notebook.
De esos besos que
Oh,
te di y que jamás encontrarás en el calor de otro hotel.
Wow.
A tu
oh.
lado vivirán y te hablarán. Ay, como cuando tú estás
Come on! Who
conmigo.
cares? Look at them dance.
Well, I will say I did have kind of a change of heart in a way about immigration because we're working on our house over here and we needed to get some stuff done because we want to sell it. And so um, this this super sweet Mexican guy who's been working with us for years and years, and I've known him ever since I was 14 years old. And he is a ninja when it comes to home improvement. And like he came in here like Speedy Gonzalez and just did all the things. Like I'm talking about trim around the whole house, like mitering all the trim, just completely replacing several doors within like a span of like a half an hour. This guy is an absolute magician when it comes to like handyman stuff. And I know for a fact that he was an illegal. I don't know if maybe he was able to get residency or whatever, or what his immigration status is now. But I have such a soft spot for this guy because I've known him for so long. And he actually does have traditional conservative values of like, caring about your family, not aborting all of your children, of actually going to church, some of those more traditional values that Mexican American people do bring over. And I think that there is a decent synergy with the Mexican traditional Mexican culture and American culture. We've been neighbors for a long time. I'm definitely the type of person that gets frustrated if somebody doesn't learn the language. But here's where I came down. Here's where I'm coming down is that I want all of Biden's illegals to be mass deported. Everybody from then on maybe can stay because it affects me personally. I'd like to just be like logically consistent and have like a deontological ethical system, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to say I want to have some of the people that I care about stay, and I want all of Biden's illegals to go because Biden's illegals were like people from Nigeria or like Somalia or like terrorists and like known terrorists and stuff like that. It's not just like Mexicans hopping the border just to find a little bit of a better life. So anyway, uh, please go ahead and attack me for being a
Yep.
hypocrite.
Facts don't care about your feelings. And if he's illegal, he's illegal. No, but there should be processes where, like, maybe if they do come in legally, there is like a short little statement that you sign that you do abide by the Constitution or something like that. That way, there's some sort of legal document that can help help us identify and I don't know, just have people commit to, you know, the America first or the Constitution first type attitude.
Yeah, I understand your empathy. I get it.
Just do it. Just do it.
There are very fine people on both sides. Um,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, it's one of those things where if you start writing caveats for like, well, they're a good person, like that is the way that you get no immigration law to be enforced, because it's like, well, look at the huddled masses and the children and the grandma and the nice guy, and they're obviously like, we're not demonizing people for coming over. We understand why, like, I get it. I understand why you'd want to come here. I just think at the end of the day, you have to draw the line, and that might affect people who are good people, And I do think that, especially in trades or jobs that are in short supply, you can consider saying, okay, well, we're going to allow green cards for these people to come over, but there just has to be a process, because if you say like, well, there's going to be a lot of good illegals that come over, well, that brings with it all of the other problems. So I mean, I get it. I can empathize with that perspective, because they are humans, and like you've probably met somebody who's undocumented, quote unquote. But at the same time, like, you just have to, in my opinion, you have to be hard on that. Otherwise, there will be it'll just become a Trojan horse for everything else that we've seen, and that's what Biden did, really.
Well, I will settle for, I would like to have mass deportations, especially over of the 10 million that came across in the past 4 years. I would love to see some mass deportations, which we aren't going to see. Hate to break it to you. Um, uh, but so I will settle for having a closed border, though. It's about trade-offs. If I'm not expecting much. I'm not expecting much. And so I'll settle for a completely closed border, which we pretty much have like a 95% reduction in illegal crossings. So I'm going to be happy about that. And then I'm also just going to continue to have, everybody gets one issue that they're not consistent on, and this is going to be mine. Deport people that I don't like, and then I'm going to keep the people I
Yeah.
like.
Well, Goat says open up the front door to stop the back door entry. That's pretty sexual, but I guess it works on the country too.
Well, Trump wants more legal immigration, and I think he's out of the majority view when it comes to that. I think the majority of Americans do want reduced legal immigration as well as reduced illegal immigration. And again, I have to go back to this. It boggles to my mind why the Dems want to die on this hill. It's a 70-30 issue, or even transgenderism is like a 95-5 issue. How is it good politics to support these types of issues and make these issues like the center of your party